3, 2, 1, go! Woo! Oh yeah, now.
Red plane and rocket.
10 seconds to count down.
10, 9, 8,
8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Blast
off.
Yeah,
We did it.
woohoo. Look, OSMU Wiggles and Olanda. It's Clare, Larissa, and Ayla.
Hi, OSMU Wiggles and Olanda.
Hi, Ayla.
What are you doing, OSMU Wiggles and Olanda?
We're playing a rocket ship. Because, we say blast off. And then, the rocket went down.
Wow. I like it. That's great.
Yeah. Hey, OSMU Wiggles and Olanda, I have a new plane for you.
What is the plane, Larissa?
It's a big red plane.
Yeah.
Yay.
We
love
the
big
red
red plane.
Okay.
Let's have a look and see the big red plane.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. The big red plane is so big, Claire.
Yeah. The plane is so big.
So, do you want to sit down on a plane?
Of course, we do.
Me too.
Me 3.
Me 4.
And me 5. All right.
Now, let's get into the big red plane.
Yay.
Buckle your seatbelts.
Seatbelts buckled, Claire.
Claire.
All right.
Then off we go.
We.
Hoo-hoo. I love this plane. Orla, Opal, Oswald, and Olanda.
Yes,
we
love it.
Oxley.
Yeah. And what about you, Claire, Larissa, and Ayla?
We love it, Oxley.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Wow. Look at the clouds.
They're white.
Wow. The clouds are moving, Olanda.
Yes. The clouds are moving in the sky, Ayla.
Yes.
I wish the big red plane is flying through the sky, Orla.
Yeah. The big red plane is flying through the sky, Oxley.
Yes.
So, Claire, are you flying on a plane? Yes, I'm flying on a plane, Opal. Yes, you're right, Claire. Yeah.
So, OSMU Wiggles and Olanda, are you happy now?
Yes,
we're happy,
Oswald.
Well, that's good, OSMU Wiggles and Olanda.
Yeah.
Right,
Oswald.
Okay, guys, we're going to the Little Einsteins and Friends house today.
Hoo-hoo.
We love the
We
Little
love the Little
Einsteins and
Einsteins and
Friends
Friends
house.
house.
Guys, are you happy now?
Yes,
Larissa.
Well, that's great.
Look, guys, we're here.
When they got to the Little Einsteins and Friends house.
Hi,
Little Einsteins and
Friends.
Hi,
OSMU
Wiggles,
Wiggles,
Clare,
Larissa,
Olanda,
Olanda,
and
and Ayla.
It's good to see you,
Little
Einsteins and
Friends.
Friends.
Wow. You got a plane, Claire.
Well, thanks, Quincy. I love it.
So, are you ready to fly a rocket ship, Little Einsteins and Friends?
Yes, we are.
Larissa.
All right. Let's get your rocket ship and we will see you later. Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys. Okay, Little Einsteins and Friends, let's get into the rocket ship.
Yes.
Woohoo. We're flying through the sky.
This is fun, Quincy.
Yeah.
Wow. This is a great rocket ship, Emily.
That's right, Lily.
Yeah. And what about you, Jake and Cole?
We
love
love
it,
it,
Lily.
Lily.
Well, that's cool, Jake and Cole.
Yeah.
Right,
Right,
Lily.
Lily.
I can't wait for the rocket ship, Leo, Annie, and June.
You're
right, Quincy.
But where are the OSMU Wiggles, Clare, Larissa, Olanda, and Ayla?
Look. They're in the big red plane. Come on. Let's go faster. Here we go. Hi, guys. I hope you had a great time.
Hi, Leo. You had a great time today.
That's good, Claire.
Hey, I know. Why don't we sing a song about fly through the sky?
Yeah, good idea.
Good idea,
Claire.
Claire.
Woohoo! We love the
We
song.
love
the
the
song.
song.
Come on, everybody, let's sing together. Here we go.
Uh-huh. Woohoo! Here we go now. Oh yeah, now. Woohoo! Uh-huh. Woohoo!
This is Claire, pilot of the OSMU Wiggles Airlines to Control Tower. We have completed our checks. Everybody has their seatbelts on. We request permission to take off. Here we go.
Here we go now. Woohoo! Uh-huh.
Alright, Little Einsteins and Friends, it's time to go back home right now.
Oh,
Yes, we do, Leo.
Did you have fun today?
Yes,
Leo.
But now, let's say goodbye to the OSMU Wiggles, Clare, Larissa, Olanda, and Ayla.
See you, guys.
See you, Little Einsteins and Friends.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for flying in the big red plane. It's time for us to go now.
Goodbye.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.